It. What a wonderful day it is today. No, look at that. I've busily wiping everything down. I didn't notice this. Let me just get them for you. There we are. And I'll just rinse that off. And then fix it again. Right. It just completely slipped to my attention that had happened. And I'm so sorry. How embarrassing. A dirty fish tank. So this has got to be a quick one because I've got things to do. My daughter has a job at McDonald's of all places, so I'm not technically advertising for McDonald's, but seeing they're employing my daughter, I'm happy to endorse them. I will stop at wearing a clown suit, I'm afraid, so you'll have to deal with that. But quite happy with her. She seems to be doing quite well, but it means that I've got to drive her about an hour because my child situation is a little bit complicated. That's all right. I'll just pop these over here because these are beauties. Yoink. Just grabbing some paper towel to do the final wipe down. It's a final wipe down. Diddle-doo-doo. Diddle-doo-doo. Okay, enough of that. You've got to understand, seeing I did mention I've got a daughter, that means I'm entitled to at least 2 dad jokes a day. There we go. So, because of that, I've gotten it all wiped down. It's looking clean. Just make sure that everything in front of here is clean. Not much I can do about the OPAL dust because it just gets everywhere. That's why we have a water setup, which I have just filled. You'll be glad to know. There we go. Whoop. A little too much water. A little too much. Let's just make it a little bit less intense. Come on, a little bit less intense than that even. Come on, you can do it. I've been meaning to change this setup a little bit. It actually worked quite well, but yay, there we go. There we are, perfect. All right, so let's have a look at what we got. I'll zoom in a bit. There we go. Oh. The zoom feature is behaving itself. What a surprise. Yeah, if you leave the tap dripping, even a new blade will end up looking like that really quickly. It's a bit annoying. Just got to stay on the ball, so to speak. Make sure that everything's okay. All right, so here we go. Look at these guys. These are beautiful little things. Now they're dirty on top, but I have a suspicion that if there's no cracking, and I don't think there is any cracking, I might grab the lasers and find out. If there's no cracking, these guys should end up looking really, really lovely. So that's good. This one here, once again, there is cracking on this one, but you can see how there's a lot to like about this one. I reckon I could maybe even snap it here. Let's see. No, it won't snap. But that's probably the first thing I'll do is I'll just slice down along that crack to get rid of it. This one here, these are all Cooper by the way. Now that looks interesting, doesn't it? I don't think it's bone. It could be a bit of shell opal, but that doesn't matter. Maybe wood opal. Yeah, wood opal. Anywho, it's not as brightly coloured as the other ones, but it's still looking good. Now this one here, this is just one that is a favourite of mine. Now there's nothing specific that I can say that makes this a really good stone, but I just enjoy working with it. You do it right, it gives you many rewards. I'll show you an example of doing something right. I don't even know if it's going to help here. Let me just move this over. Extra light always helps. It's this guy here. Let's see if we can spot it. See this guy? This was in an there was absolutely no colour on this thing, and I just carefully went around and found this. A colour bar going all the way through. It's pretty much a sunflash. I've never seen a sunflash Cooper stone. I'm sure they do exist, but I've never personally seen one. I'm just trying to get that beautiful angle for you. There it is. You can see that? Look at that. So this guy's sitting there at 20 carats or so. The bar goes all the way through. I don't know whether to cut it into one giant stone like this, or just keep slicing along that axis because that's where it faces up. So just keep slicing and slicing and slicing. And the fun part of that is that I've got all the pieces that when I was cutting it up to try and get it to face. Not that I've got them in a spot where I can easily show you, because that would be clever. Where have I put them? Oh well, just believe me on that. Okay, so I've got all of that. I'm not going to cut that one. The bit that I'm doing for that is boring. This guy is interesting because there is a bit of seam. And so this could go either way. This could become a brilliant opal, or it could just shatter in seconds. So I pop them. I'm just trying to give you a bit of a look-see of what is going on. So here we go. This guy, have a look at him. There is just colour everywhere. I'll move this away, see if that works better. Getting the colour to happen is quite an art form. Move the colour right over the top, maybe. There we go, that works a bit better. It's just washing out a bit on the camera, so but just believe me that the colour's a lot better. Just especially this side here, you can see, like, what you're seeing is green is pink and red. There's a lot of red there. You're just seeing green. Well, if you cut it right, you do see a lot of green, I suppose. Alright, I'm done. So, there we go. There's some more colours which are showing up as green, which is actually orangey kind of colour on this one. This one is a knobby. I don't get many knobbies from Cooper Pedy, and that makes life interesting. Here's another knobby. That one I reckon is going to be very interesting to cut. This one here, look at him. Just got colour everywhere. But the potch is in awkward places, so it's going to be interesting to try and cut that one correctly. This guy here, once again, we've got colour, 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 colour. Now it's a bit ambitious with all of these stones here. I might do this one first because it looks like a bit of a slam dunk or a slam smash, because there's a crack along here. So it'll either crack up or create a good stone, so I'll keep that out here. This one, a tiny little offcut. That should make a beautiful little pointer. It's just got flash everywhere. It's got more flashes than an old gentleman at Hyde Park. Right, so here is another one. This one, it's got moderate colour. I like it. What else have we got left? We've got this one here. Yeah, this one's interesting. It's just got all sorts of colour poking in all sorts of places. So that's another one which is a bit of a randomie. And here's the final one that we're doing for today anyway. That looks like a piece of wood / shell opal. I think it's wood. Could be shell. You can see how there's a few different ways that things could go with this one. But we'll start with this guy because this one has got by far the brightest colours. I'm just manoeuvring the water to where I want it. And let's see how things go. Hello there, Gilly Sable. You're about to watch everything start up. There we go. And we're off and racing. So first things first, we get rid of all the stuff that needs to be gotten rid of. There's an opal channel here that told me that one. It's such good advice. When you don't know what to do, don't know how to start, just get rid of what needs to be done. So get rid of the stuff that absolutely has to go first. I really got to tell you the name of that channel if I can remember it, because that was such a gem of advice. And I didn't mean to do the pun there. It's such good advice. I have pretty much lived my life by it ever since. And I've been cutting for quite some time when I heard that, so this, you know, sometimes... Oh, wow. Hello there, Lord Shrek. So the R-rated opal talk has begun. Yes, I've got a knobby to rub, it's all good. So, you've got some old mullet piles at Lightning Ridge and growing. Oh, you got from an old mullet pile. If you had an old mullet pile, I'd be over your place like a shot. Yeah, apparently those mullet piles are now quite well worked out. But the thing is, I think that Opal's a bit misunderstood, and if that's the case, maybe there's more to get. Yep. So in case you're interested, our good friend Lord Trek came in and dragged the tone of the conversation well down, that's what he's wont to do. So here we go. After heavy rain. Oh yeah, because they'd all be wet, right? Oh, wife got back up. She's not to be trifled with, mate. Now, I have to keep an eye on the time. The moment it hits 50 minutes, I'll move over to the birds because I've got to get my daughter over to her job at McDonald's. This one is from, I know, this one looked Lightning Ridgy. It might actually have been Lightning Ridge that snuck into the package when I got it. But these are all Cubipedes. So I'm expecting some very fragile opal. I'm just thinking, I'm a little bit... Okay, so I've got to cut that bit off. So let's have a stop and a think. Yeah, so Lord Trek, I think she gave you a free hit for that one, but you might end up getting more than you bargained for at the end of that. All right, so let me see. Okay, so the colour, I don't know if you can see it. The colour is over here. So what I'll do is I'll literally, I'll slash through here. Because this is the bit that I need to worry about. This is the face, so to speak. So that's our face. And I'll try and angle it back a bit because that'll be a bigger stone. Let's have a look what happens on the other side. So this isn't going to be huge, but what I might do is I might just cut that part off, and that will give us another piece of opal to work with later on. So I'm pretty certain there's some pretty good opal here. So here we go. Sorry, just moving my hand around. It's a bit of a, okay, looks like I'm going to have to just, yeah, it's only facing this side. Hello Jackson, how you doing? So I'm going to have to go from this side, that's where it's facing. The last couple of streams, it's been quite interesting. I only see like 3 or 4 people sign in at any one time, and then at the end of it, it says there's 2,000 people who watched it. So I think it's just the way the cookie crumbles here. By the way, tell me if it's Robloxing. That's my... Okay. Well, that's interesting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have to just carve through that piece, which is not what I want to do. Getting smaller and smaller. Sometimes this happens. Yeah, so it was a nice shiny bit, but it's the only clean bit was very, very small. So that's a bit of a shame, but you know, that's why opal is worth the dollars, because it does not behave. So I'll just carve that little piece off it and then face it up. It'll be a tiniest of pointers. Right, okay. It's got a little bit of it's well, it's still worth doing because it's so brightly coloured, but it's very, very small. So there we go. I'll pop that on the dot stick and that'll go up. Yes. And thank you for liking my vids. That's a handy thing to do. That's an offcut that I was looking for earlier. That's another piece from Cooper Pedy that looks a little bit different to the normal. Alright, let's crack out the big guns. I reckon this guy's going to look pretty good. So first things first, let's just see what it looks like from the side. I'm not necessarily... This bit here is sandy, but I don't want to necessarily take it down. It might give way to something nicer. So, but having said that, there's a little bit of a crack here. I'm just cutting straight through the crack. So that means that instead of having just an opal that's going to fall apart, you get maybe another pointer out of it. And that one will pretty much clean up instantly. I'm just looking at it outside of the field of view that you can see. Right, so what we've got here, see that little brown spot? That needs to go. So what I'll do is I'll go straight from the side, cut up, and then we'll see if that continues. I think there is a continuation. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut my losses, so to speak, and just cut straight through the entire side of this stone. Would have predicted that. There's more little pointers that come out. Both. This is a diamond cutter, but I found out that the holes make it very good at grinding, so I can do a hybrid kind of cut. That's grinding. But if I need to cut, I can just turn to the edge of the blade there and just go for it. I found this to be the most convenient way to cut an opal. It's very precise. They normally don't jump out of your hand. Right, so this is grinding. I think I might have to cut again, so you'll see the cut. Right, okay, so if you have a look here, you can see that that's a bit of rubbish opal just at the top there, so I'll cut that off. I'll show you how that works. There we go. That piece is off, and look at that. Okay, there's a green piece of flash just in there, so I'll try and get that out. That'll be a doublet only. It's quite intense, so I think it's worth doing. That piece has to go. Once again, this is a small piece, but I've got a larger piece to work with, so don't worry. I mean, sometimes it happens that you end up with just all small pieces, but that's alright. I don't like working with material that is a slam dunk anyway. I like struggling to get the opal out. This is close to a slam dunk as I've had for quite some time. Here, I'll have to double it this piece, but it's not too bad. It's got nice flash everywhere, although you can't see it. Oh, hurt yourself when you touch a blade. I'll show you. Putting that down. Absolutely no effect whatsoever. Designed for cutting rock, not skin. So skin's very soft. It'll only provide a cutting action for things that are much harder. So it is possible, if you leave your hand there for a while, the friction will get you. But I guarantee you, by the time it starts to hurt you, you will know something's up. Okay, so this is going all right. Yeah, I think gluing it on potch is the safe option. I've been thinking about that for a while. If you've ever cut minter big, you know that explodes pretty easy. And that's because, in my opinion only, obviously I'm not, the authority. My thoughts are it's because the sand is on either side of the minter opal. And I think that provides some tension because they expand at different rates. So if you get something that's not opal, and you glue your opal to that, you're just asking for trouble, I reckon. But that's just a theory. Everyone's got their ideas, you know that. And it's very hard to actually know if you're right. Oh, I just took a giant chunk out of that one. It's okay. I've salvaged it. We're going to get a cab. Smallish but nice. So there you go. This one got a doublet and a cab. What I'll do is I'll tidy this one up from the dopstick. Oh, thank you, Jackson. So that one was a good one. Worth subbing for, I reckon. Okay, let's have a look at, let's get one of the more fun ones out because should we do the knobby? We'll do the knobby next. How much time have we got? 22 minutes. We've got plenty. We've got so much fun here. I want to do all of them. So let's do this one because this one is either going to go well or extremely badly. So we'll have a lot of fun no matter what. I'm tipping it's going to explode in my hands. I reckon it's a hand grenade. Here we go. Get rid of that piece. Use the edge of the blade to go into the bit where there is the... This feels a lot like Lightning Ridge too. I don't know who made the mistake. Probably me. I think I might have mixed this in with another parcel. But I've cut a few opals that look like this from Lightning Ridge. Whoop, that went away. So let's just gently get that off. What's it going to do? You like me, don't you, Opal? Just because I'm brutalising you with a saw blade doesn't mean that we can't be friends. So talk to your Opals. I reckon this is like, in a few million years this will be a mosaic, but like, I think we've mined it up a bit too early. So let's have a look at that. It's an interesting pattern. You can see all that sand underneath. Let's go on the other side and just straighten it out and see if we can do something. Can't remember what they call that, but there's this kind of ridged opal that sits all through it. There's a few beautiful specimens like that. I think we're not going to get anything special out of that, I'm afraid. So that's a fail. That's nice, just a fail. Yeah, usually about once a week is what I do. Sometimes I'll do some stuff which is bird related too, because I've got 2 cockatoos in there that are rescues. So it just depends on what kind of day. As a general rule, if you see the birds, it'll be a short. At the end of this video, I'll stop everything and give them a bit of a pat and a scratch. My favourite opal, I'll show you. This guy. It's nothing much. This is, if you know who 53 Frogs is, what's his name? Riley Gunn. He sells this material and he doesn't think it's much chop. He just goes, oh, yeah, you can make nice little carvings out of it. But this thing, when you put facets into it, it kind of shines. And I think that it's fascinating. And so I like cutting it because it's a real challenge to get a good stone out of it. I think that's a... Naturally, if you want something that will get you a nice opal, then probably one of these more slam dunky opals like this guy is probably a good one. I have learned to appreciate Cooper Pedy though over the last couple of months. I think they're much underrated. Beautiful stones. And unlike Lightning Ridge, you get the material and there's almost invariably colour. So it's kind of good. What am I doing with that one? Let's do this one. Let's do the knobby. So what I'll do is I'll cut the bottom bit off. There's actually like opal all the way through. Can you see that? Australia, yes I am. I'm Australia, mate. Spelled S-T-R-A-Y-A. As goes the old joke. Let's have a look at this. What's in there? Okay, this is very, very light material. It just cut like butter. So this is basically sand. So I'm hoping it'll firm up because I want a nice base for the opal. No, it's going to be a jelly. That's all right. Oh, thank you, nobody. Did you pick that name because nobody's perfect? Oh, do you? What are they to cut? What have I got here? I've got a garnet here. Nothing special, but it's just a garnet. I found them to be quite nice to cut. I think agates are similar to opal in hardness, aren't they? Oh, thank you. I didn't know that. Whoa, there it goes. For those who don't know my setup, I'll move it back for a second. You can see that the it's all in a fish tank with a nice screen on it. And yet it still pops out of the fish tank and scatters across the ground. It's amazing what opals can do. Okay, so you can see there's an imperfection there. That looks kind of like a crack. Okay, alright, I am not entirely confident that people know what makes a colourful opal, but I can tell you the theory. So basically the opal organises itself into spheres as it forms, and those spheres bounce the light around, and if the spheres organise themselves into spheres of the same type and then go into layers, you then get colours. So the largest of the spheres create red. They take the longest to settle. The next are the oranges and greens, and then blues, and then purples. And yes, I have been meaning to do a proper long form video on opal formation. Yeah, I do. I do sell them from time to time. I don't spend a huge amount of time selling them. I do put them on Gumtree. And I had a website once. I think that website is down. That's a shame because my daughter made that one. But that's all right. And I'm cutting it here because I think I'm taking my losses. Just as a piece of advice that I found, you're better off cutting it. And the cool thing about this setup is because it's a cutting blade as well as a grinding blade, it's actually technically a cutting blade. It means that when you need to cut it, you can very quickly. There's no extra setup involved. Yeah, silica spheres. You're right, mate. I should have mentioned that. Opal is technically a mineraloid, so it's just silica, really. Alright, so what have we got here? Sorry, I'm just taking it out of view just to have a look at it myself. Ah, there it is. Okay, so there's a little bit of sand here. Bye-bye, sand. What's the time? 30:25. We're still good. I'm just getting rid of some of the rough edges. This is fast getting to adoppable territory. I've already made a nice firm base, so I can stick that onto a drop stick. All I want to do is just get rid of that impurity there. And I think I'll do the rest by dot. I know a lot of people go, oh, I can do this entire thing on my own. I can too. Well, I'm not going to say I can or can't, but basically I've discovered that if you can find the more accurate way to do it, use that method. Don't try and be a hero. There we go. Okay, so that's nearly perfect. Nearly perfect. There we go. So it might have to be doubleted. Let's see if have I got a bit of black potch here? I do. What does it look like under the black potch? I think you've got to match it a bit better to make it look good. But we'll see how it goes when we shine it all up. Now, I saw something winking at me. What was it? Got one more to do. Okay, we'll do this one. Because this one's got a nice colour bar on the side of it. Now, someone was going, oh, so that's what a colour bar. Actually, it was Shrek. I now know what you mean what a colour bar is. So I'm assuming that Gilly Sable knows what a colour bar is. But basically what a colour bar is just the colour that you see in the opal. And it usually organises itself in a line that goes straight through the rock. So that's what it is. Now, just so that you know, I've already identified this is a little thing that I might be able to turn into another opal. And this piece is too fragile. It's going to have to come off. So the stone is here. The stone is that bit there. So straight away, cut it all up. Nothing to see here. Right. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the positive energy. That's cool. Now you've got more positive energy, obviously. There we go. Alright, so these two here. There aren't many people like you, mate, so don't ever stop being you. I've just made this into a little pointer. Like, this one literally cut itself. So, I know that sounds bad. But, yeah, this one pretty much did itself. And so I've got this thing. I can just stick that onto a dot. And it's got a huge amount of shine ready to go. So, that was just a freebie. It was a gimme. Really. So good that I forgot where all the other stuff is. Here we go. Keeping an eye on the time. What is it? 34:14. Plenty. Might even be able to do another one. You'll notice that the setup I've got, this is not my skill, this is just so easy that I can live stream and talk, and I'm usually one-handed as I cut the opal, you know. I do sometimes get in there and do two hands, but like, it's quite an easy setup, and it's not, the only way I can, you know, congratulate myself over how well I cut the opals is because I did make the setup, but other than that, it's really, really good.
Hey, Father, may I talk to you for a second? I know you're free.
Yeah, hang on a dot a sec. What's wrong?
I turned in my assignment for week I got done into plagiarism, I checked, my entire reference list is apparently plagiarized. Not a word in my original text, just my entire
Just reorder your
No,
references.
it's each individual thing is saying that it's been stolen from a different student's assignment.
Okay. Well, I've got to do a stream.
Okay.
I'll talk to you about it later. Okay, sorry. My daughter came in. She's doing assignments. Apparently, there was an issue with plagiarism, and you know the phrase: if you copy somebody's stuff, then it's plagiarism. If you copy lots of people's stuff, it's research.
Yes, but the problem is it's the reference list.
I know. I know the problem.
And also, you can't reorder it because it's supposed to be in a specific order.
Alphabetical, even.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. I may have written a paper or two. Just for those people who don't know, I call myself Dr. Phil. My name is Phil with the PH, but I don't want to be associated with the psychiatrist. Well, not much anyway. But I do have a PhD, so it's so I have published papers if you want to look out for them. Let me have a look. Thanks, Gilly. Yeah, I'll answer for Gilly because he mentioned it before. He actually has picked up some material from the Growan fields, and it sounds like he picked it up when Growan was actually doing quite well. People do it all the time now. Yeah, have a look at that. That's you can't see it. Hang on, I'll zoom in because sometimes that helps. And I'll turn this light away, move it away, see if that helps. No, you can't see squat. I'll move this over the top. Can you see any of it? There we go. See some of the colour. Quite a good one. Oh, a few months ago. So there's still stuff there. They don't like you doing it, I know that. They try and chase you away. But I've actually picked up opals from the road just near Growan because up. Yay. That'll do. One day. Geology is great. Yes, it is. It's a very interesting kind of time in the geological record that the opal fields are. Basically, just when all the animals were starting to differentiate into, dinosaurs and mammals and whatnot. So there we go. Now, well, that's right, because the road base is all mine spoil. So you don't have to go into the Growan dumps. You can go in there and just pick them up off the road. Now, technically it's for safety reasons, but I do understand why they do it. Because opal miners spend all of this time and effort cutting into the rock, digging holes, finding opals. And for them to miss an opal and for some random hack to go and find one, that must be so frustrating. I'm doing a similar thing here. I go through, believe it or not, this was a parcel that was labelled no colour. I'm very kind of challenge accepted. I know it's probably arrogant, whatever else, but it's fun. I love it when someone says you can't do it, and you go, "What, you mean this thing that I've just done?" It's not arrogance per se. It's just oh really? That's worth it. $10 is worth it. This guy at this size, this is a Cooper Beatty stone. They'll easily fetch you $100 if I get it shined up properly, and it stays around about the same. It's about 1.5 to 2 carats at the moment. So, I mean, $10 to find 10 of them, no problem. Naturally, it's a Cooper Beatty stone, so you're not going to find one of these in growing, but you get the general gist. But that's a good way of doing it, because people don't really know what they're looking for as a general rule, so probably going to draw a blank. And if the miners have missed one, well, okay, I've got a problem here. Have a look at this. There's a crack here, but on the other side of that crack, there's some nice colour. I don't want to grind it away. Gonna have to grind it away. No, I'll cut through it. Hopefully that'll preserve. Gonna make it into a drop then. Okay, that worked out. And maybe that was a good thing, because like if you have a look underneath, you can see there's some instability there. So I'm gonna have to carve that potch away. And yeah, I think not for the same reasons, but it was a good call. I had to deal with that. I don't mind advertising that at all, Gilly. Yeah, well, you only need a tiny fraction for colour, don't you? You need 1 carat, which is 0.2 gram. So yeah, go for it. Have a look at this. I might have to change the facing, because it's facing better this side. So how do I do that? Let me just... Whoa! Okay, I think I can do this. It's a bit of a wonky colour. Haven't done many freeforms for a while. Sorry, I'm looking at it, you know, outside of the field of vision, in case you're wondering what's going on. That has to go. Then angle it in. That was all dodge material, so I had to get rid of it. We don't see that every day. It's the other side. This is the potch side. So let's have a look. Yeah, it's going to be long, but that'll be fine. Might even... Do I? Okay, we've got a pair of very small earrings. Here we go. That's one. That's two. So very small, but sister stones. There we go. So spotting opal on the ground is actually an art form in itself. Ordinarily it'd be easy to spot, but if people have been hunting through the same spots, then you've got to be a bit more strategic on how you do it. You've got to find spots that people haven't looked at more than anything else. I found a giant chunk of opal just outside the post office in Lightning Ridge, so you can find it. It was very amusing because the tour bus operator was there going, "Oh, I can't find anything here, mate." So, like this thing, well, you're lucky, mate. And then I went away and I just saw him and a whole heap of other people just searching through frantically. They thought it had all gone. Okay, where's that knobby? Did I already do the knobby? Yes, I did. One more and then we're going. It's this guy here. And this guy's promising to be a beauty. Yeah, the other thing about it is that, like, because you only need a carat or so, people have usually got their eyes sort of attuned to too big. They're looking at all the rocks that are, you know, this size, I suppose. You're looking at rocks about this size. What you really need to be doing is looking at rocks this size. Or smaller even. Because opal miners aren't idiots and they make their money from this. The other thing, it's good to bring a hammer or two just to smash open a rock. See what's in there. It's hard to describe what it is because, like, a lot of the stuff you get is just come out of the agitator and it just looks like balls of very hardened sand, I suppose. It's an interesting experience. I think that it's worth doing. Profitable too. So there we go. Cut that bit off. This will probably only be a doublet, but it'll be a nice one. This is my last rock, I'm afraid, guys. I'm going to have to go in and say hi to the birdies. I'm sure Jay the Genius is just going, "Oh no, please tell me it's not true." There we go. Show you this piece here. Beautiful little gem there. And let's see how it pairs with a nice piece of black potch. There we go. That'll do quite nicely, thank you very much. Alright, turning off. Yoink, and away we go. It's alright, Jay. I've learned to appreciate you an awful lot, so you can say whatever you like anyway, but I get what you're saying. Oh, we've got not much light here. Now, how's the, do I need to turn it to my internal internet? Lights on. There we go. Oh, I've left my chocolate out there. Big mistake. Alright. The opals, they sort of glow. Have I got my... I've got a UV laser here. Hang on. Excuse the mess. Here we go. There's a battery over here. Yeah, that's a nail thing. That also does it. So, all right. Have I got some? Yeah, here we go. Some Cooper Pedy opal. Let's see which one we've got. Got to be careful because these torches really freak out the birds. So Max is not going to be happy after I've done this. Okay, so that's this one here. Have a look at the opals for 5 seconds whilst I just put the battery in. And whilst we're here, we may as well turn the lights off and try it. So if we go, try and get it to happen. It's got to be fast. And sometimes it doesn't work at all. I reckon this one will do it. Charge it up. There you are, see that? Show you that again. Charge it up and then... So there you go. It works sometimes. All right. Yeah, so yeah, it happens sometimes. Yeah, and I think that is the point. People make money from OPAL, and they don't want you to do something that works. Definitely not. Okay, Loki. There we go. Now, 51 minutes. In trouble here. There you go, Loki. Now, Max has been ridiculously cute, and I have freaked him out so much today. I vacuumed the floor down here. I know it doesn't look vacuumed. I've vacuumed and mopped. I did all the things, but birds, well, they just do this. And I've also been playing with the lasers. He hates the lasers, so I'm not going to take him out because he'll be too scared. Do you want to scratch? Yeah. But he and I have been getting on great guns. Yeah. He's been really letting me get in there because he's got an itchy neck at the moment. I think it's molting time again. And he's got, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I rubbed the pin feather the wrong way and then poked my nail into the end of it, which is not very comfortable for them. So, yeah. And also, believe it or not, these birds, they have other patterns which fluoresce under UV, but I'm not going to show you because Max, I can't describe how much Max hates the UV lights. Cockatoos, as a general rule, actually sneeze when you shine lights on them. So it's very, very uncomfortable for them. But yeah, they have all sorts of amazing patterns if you look at them under UV lights. Yeah, it's only 2 minutes. All right, we've got 2 minutes, guys. So I'm going to shut this one down. We'll say goodbye to.
It's 5:50.
Okay. So we have to go. There we go, and that's
Hello.
That's a McDonald's employee patting a cockatoo.
That's something you see every day. Oh,
Loki.
I'm sorry, Max.
What do you think's in the burgers?
Meat. I think that's what's in the burgers. I've seen them being cooked. Oh, you're being a good Christmas today, are you?
All right. See you guys around. Just say a quick goodbye to Pony. There you are, Pony. Yoink. All right. Hooroo, everybody. I'm just going to flip around. Goodbye. It was a great little session there. Got some nice stones out of it, and the birds seem to be perfectly friendly, so that's cool. All right. All right. Well, I'll be waiting for you on the next one too. Okay. I might do one tomorrow, but tomorrow's busy. Have a lovely day. Dr. Phil out.